Sup, gigglers?
Here's the Wi-Fi.
Manifest that shit.
We can't be managed. I mean, the day just got away from me.
What's up, my gigolos?
Wow. That was an
Paige, from not hungover to you can hear light. How hungover are you?
I can hear light. Like, I'm in a dark room right now. Like, I can't.
You are. You look like you're kidnapped and trying to send me a message, but you're too tired.
Literally my kidnapper is like somewhere in the dark back there, and I'm like, I'm doing it. Stop. You know how like we're competitive?
Yeah.
And like things that like we shouldn't be competitive about.
Yeah, like the game BS. If I lost that game, I would leave. I'd go home. I'd be like, Mom, pick me up.
Yeah, like I don't know why I think I can drink the amount of alcohol that like boys can drink. And look, I think girls are very equal to boys, and I'm all about being a feminist, but there are some times where they're just better. They're better at things, and consuming alcohol is one of them.
I'm going to be honest. Taking out the trash. Men are better at. I tried to be a feminist. I couldn't do it.
If something's heavy or I can't open a jar, I need men. Men are superior in things like that.
In like 2% of things, they are superior. We'll give them that. Also, when you were growing up, did your dad ever make the joke like, I'm not afraid you're going to get kidnapped because the kidnapper would pay me to take you back?
No. My dad would like cry. He's like, if something happened to you, I would die. I couldn't go to Mexico on spring break because my dad said, if something happened to you, I would kill myself. And I was like, oh my God, like that's so harsh. The guilt trip you just laid on
I feel
me.
like both of our dads are traumatizing, just different ways.
Never been to Mexico. Traumatized by I can't even book a flight to Tulum. I'm like, what if something happened? My dad would kill himself.
He's like, you're too adorable to go to Mexico. And my dad's like, sure, go. I'll make some money off of you. Talkative.
Literally. My dad's like, someone will see you and immediately want you. I'm like, really? Oh my God.
My dad's like, please, someone kidnap her. Before we get started, I feel like we owe the gigglers a little life update.
Okay, I didn't want the gigglers to think I was like withholding information and like people were finding out and I wasn't actively telling the gigglers that I had a boyfriend. But one, it's like a very new relationship and like I'm not a psycho crazy girlfriend. Like I'm not like posting my boyfriend immediately. Like, and come on, you guys know I love an Instagram aesthetic. So like I just want to like put his hand on an Instagram story and like no one know who it was. And it was like fun and girly.
Everyone knew who it was.
Yeah, everyone was like,
I love
cool.
how you're breadcrumbing yourself.
Yeah, it gave me excitement. I got so many DMs from girls being like, cool, we get it. You date Craig. Like, cool, you have a boyfriend.
You had a plan in your head and it didn't work out as mysteriously as you wanted it, but it's okay because I'm totally into it. And I kind of, there's almost a nice, enjoy these moments when you're not on blast, like, where people are like posting your photo everywhere and then everyone's like placing bets on how long it can last and then like talking about how old he is. Oh wait, that's mine. But anyway.
No, so many people were like, it's a PR stunt and like she just like has no storyline and she doesn't really know how to do reality TV. So like she needed to like date Craig. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I love that people are thinking that because nobody's like checking my social media to see if I'm posting him. But I do have a real life boyfriend who like does actually like me and not because we're on a television show together. But
I'm so
yeah,
happy
isn't that
for
nice?
you.
I can't wait to do podcast episodes about like things that come up in a relationship.
I
right?
mean,
Like this is
we're two taken
different.
gigglers. And now because we're taking, it sounds like our advice is more legit. Like we know what we're talking about even though we don't.
But can I point something out?
Yes.
I've been single for a full year and I have literally met the king of like I have dated some of the worst people in America.
Same.
Why is it immediately when you get a boyfriend the men can sniff it out and everyone is messaging you and texting you and DMing you? It's the craziest thing. I'm like, hello?
It's like blood in the water. You've been bit.
Yeah, like
and they could
like,
smell it.
men can smell it when you're happy.
Or they can just tell when you really don't care anymore, and that's like hot to them. To the toxic ones. Guys who really love you want you to care.
Yeah, every ex I've ever had has texted me within these past 2 weeks, and I'm like, get out of here.
I love that for you, though. It sounds really
Me too.
empowering.
I was like, I have a boyfriend. Stop.
What do you do when they message you? Do you leave them on red? Do you politely say like thanks but no thanks? Like, what's your move?
Some of them I just left on red. I was like, absolutely out of my face. And then other ones I was like so giddy and excited to be like, I have a boyfriend now. How are you?
And they're like, I'm so happy for you. But
Yeah.
these conversations are very important because like if you really respect your relationship, this is not your time to set boundaries. Like, I know you used to text me every 3 weeks when you were lonely, but like none of that anymore, you know?
Yeah. I love texting people being like, I have a boyfriend. Bye.
You cleansed your roster. You found your star player.
Guys, I know. Oh my God, I love not having a roster. It's so much less stressful. But let me tell you something. Having a boyfriend is also stressful.
Oh my God, they're exhausting. You have to take them on walks. Make sure they have enough to eat.
Yeah, you have to like respond when they talk.
All the time.
All the
Every time they
time.
talk, you have to respond. It's like a lot.
The amount of times that Craig's like, you're not listening. And I'm like, that's correct.
I literally have a whole stand-up joke about when I talk to you, how you're scrolling your phone.
Yeah. He's like, you're
That's-
not even listening to my story. And I'm like, right. And?
I mean, you're going to get to the point where you will tell a story and he'll be like, you've told that 3 times. And I'm like, yeah, we ran out.
Yeah.
It ends. Because everything else we experienced together, so I've no new material.
Wait, that's the other thing? Like,
And Des calls me out. I'm like, just laugh.
I forgot how much I love gossiping with a boyfriend.
Yeah.
But like Craig and I are always together. So like when we find things out or like we have gossip, like we just talk about it with each other. So when something happens, now I'll be like, we can't wait to tell this person. Or like, wait, I heard gossip. Like I love when I have gossip to tell Craig.
I love when you could find a guy who gossips with you because that means they're your best friend. I know there's a stereotype like, oh, guys don't care about like your girlfriends. No. I want my guy to call me up and be like, how's it going with Amber? Is she still fighting with Kenzie? It's Kenzie mad at Sarah. I need the goods. Like, it's like our life is a sitcom and they need to know what's happening. Because if they don't care, then what are we talking about?
Right. Like Craig like sits down and I'm like, I have some to tell you. He's like, wow, can't wait.
But this reminds me, I wanted to tell you about something I watched on TikTok, which means it's informative and legit.
Right.
There was a study on why relationships last. And this guy, scientist, I don't know how many people were in the study, but when couples did this, 90% of couples stay together long term. And if they didn't, only 30% of couples stay together.
Oh my God, I can't wait. What is it?
And it's actually quite simple. It's literally when someone said, look at that bird. It's really pretty. The couples where the other person acknowledged it and said something lasted 90%. And the ones who literally just like didn't acknowledge it didn't last. And I honestly believe that so hard.
I 1000% believe that. Like, it's the simple act of like caring about what your person is saying, even if you
in
don't.
the tiniest even just making the effort to just make them feel heard with the littlest things. Because obviously when you're like, hey, we have to have a talk, they'll respond to you, but it's about 2 people just vibing. And I don't care how hot he is, how good the sex is, how much your mom likes him. Like, if he doesn't think your little stuff is worth listening to, you're gonna feel empty.
Also, I think that is like a really big thing. And also like just complimenting each other. Like I love telling Craig that I think he is the hottest guy I've ever seen in my life and like the hottest guy I've ever dated. And like I feel like when you say that to men, like they need compliments just as much as we do. Like the more I compliment Craig, the more he also compliments me. And like we're also narcissists.
Well, you're teaching each other your love language. Like he'll see that it feels good and then he'll want you to feel good. Wait, we do have kind of similar dynamics where like we both don't mind the limelight, but we
Yeah.
also are proud of each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I get jacked up when Craig okay, perfect example is Craig is an embellisher, okay? He will tell stories. He will tell stories to like a group of people that I was present for the story, okay? And he will say things that are a complete lie and like embellishment like to make the story better, and I'll just look at him like across the room like, you know that didn't happen. But like I'm not calling him out, but
He's like, then I punched a shark in the face.
and I'm like, babe, that didn't happen that way.
He's
but,
like, I sewed
whatever.
a whole freaking sweater set.
But like I just love listening to him tell stories, and I like I like when people laugh at like the stories he tells. So like I'm not gonna call my man out and be like, that didn't happen. Sometimes I do, but like
If it's funny.
the other day Craig was here and he's been like flying a lot, and so he just like his body hurt and he was like, let's get massages. So he like went on an app. We got couples massage in my apartment. So it was so sweet and like so cute, and like they come with like a portable massage table, like, and we were doing it at the same time. So the girl that was doing him like just kept talking, like chatty Cathy, and I could tell that Craig wanted to be like, hey, shut the fuck up. But like no one said anything, but like I can feel, even though I can't see him, like I can feel what he's thinking. Craig had like a huge bruise on the back of his leg, and the massage girl says, oh my God, how did you get that? And Craig goes, oh, a soccer game. And I immediately burst out laughing because I'm like, what world were you in a soccer game? And like he didn't stop there though. She goes, oh my God, like, do you play like in a pickup league? Craig goes, yup. And I am on my chair apologizing to my masseuse because I'm like, sorry for laughing, but my boyfriend is blatantly lying to this lady just because he wants her to shut up. But like, I know why he's doing it. So then when they leave, like, and it's over, I was like, were you playing in a soccer game? And he was like, no, but she like wouldn't stop talking. And like, I'm not explaining to this lady how I got a bruise. And it was just...
But you know, you're
couples.
starting to know like what he's thinking and how he reacts to situations. It's funny because when I get massages with Des in Chinatown, this knows Mandarin, so he won't shut up with the person next to me because he's practicing his Mandarin, and she's giggling and she's loving it, and I'm alone, left out.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they're talking shit about me. And, and at the end, she's just laughing, and she laughs at me, and we leave. And I'm like, I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad you made a new friend.
Yeah, like, no, her and I are just friends. Don't worry about her. That's my sister. Just getting a massage.
But it's funny because whenever you go to Chinatown and you get your nails done, the joke is that these women are talking shit about you. And I'm like, Des, tell me if they're talking shit about me. Like, I know I have like hairy feet. Like, what do they talk about? And he goes, they literally never talk about anyone. They just like want to know when their lunch break is.
Yeah, like they don't give a shit.
Okay, now that we're out of the closet in so many ways, we have so many good things to talk about. First of all, Kravis got engaged yesterday.
Yeah.
Where were you when the news broke? Like, what was...
No. It's literally like, where were you when you heard? Like, I will never forget where I was. I have so many thoughts and conspiracy theories on this. But you texted me about it. So what was your initial thought?
I have a full conspiracy theory with a K.
Okay.
Do you know the story about 2 days ago about Courtney going berserk on an airplane?
Yeah, I saw it on page 6.
So apparently they were flying.
But no one else like picked it up. No one like said anything about it.
It fully got picked up. Cosmo, The Sun, everyone picked it up, and it was very like that she was bratty, that she had a freak out. The Kardashians responded and were like, this is so not true. But apparently he lost his phone in between the seat and business class when they were flying from New York. Also, people were starting to give her bad press because they were like, why would she not post about Kim when she was on SNL when everyone else did? And then she only posted about Travis when he was on SNL. So there was just like weird energy going around.
Oh, she didn't post about Kim being on SNL?
No. But then when Travis was on, she was excited. But I mean, this is all like stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But then someone was like, of course she went berserk. Like, it's his 5th time flying or something. And it's like, apparently Travis was fine. Travis was just sitting there.
Yeah.
Then someone's like, oh, she probably has naked pictures and shit. But I'm like, he probably has a lock on his phone.
Right.
Long story short, a scene was had and it was talked about. So my theory is that Kris Jenner picks up the phone and she goes, Travis, I know you're planning on proposing. We need you to do it today. We cannot have more like negative like energy towards this. It needs to stop the story right now. And he was like, what? And she goes, double the flowers, make it look like a Squid Game finale, do some fancy ass shit, do it on a public beach. I don't give a if you're not, because why would they do it on a public beach? That was so weird. I think she's just like, find area, find
so
space. Like, Courtney does not want a public place.
Yeah.
And they did it. Are they filming their Hulu thing? Because it was also filmed.
Okay, so my conspiracy theory is that when they were in Vegas and everyone was writing those like congratulations and like those cryptic like messages, I think they got engaged in Vegas like by themselves with like their friends and family. I think this engagement is purely for the TV show.
So furthermore, someone posted that Alabama Barker has a photo with Courtney sitting in front of her house in 2018. So they think that they've been in this relationship for a while, but they had to wait it because of the Scott storyline needed to end or something. And they were going to put it on like the Hulu show. And that's why they're so hot and heavy and got engaged so fast. But that's a real far stretch.
I've never been more terrified of a teenager than I am of Alabama Barker.
She'd bully my ass.
If she ever came up to me and wanted my lunch money, I'd immediately give it to her. Like, she could beat the shit out of me. And I would say, okay.
Stab you with one of those fingernails. Then 2 things about Scott. People are like writing mean comments like Scott's shaking, Scott's. And I know that's funny, but like as someone who understands like cyberbullying and stuff, like I feel bad for Scott, but I do not think that him and Courtney should be together.
Okay, I also agree. I feel bad for Scott because let's be honest. Scott, not that this is a pass for Scott, but Scott and Courtney were together when they were very, very young. Yep. Like, Scott was only 26 when they had Mason. That is young.
Like, probably first loves.
Yeah, like, especially for a man. Not that that's an excuse, like, to cheat on your, like, baby mama or, like, terrorize her. But, like, I like, kind of give him a pass. And look at everyone else's husband. Like, Lamar was banging hookers, and like Scott still gets like a worse rap. Like,
yes. But
Kanye
also
has like absolutely annihilated. Like, Kanye came for Stormy, okay, but Scott still gets a bad rap.
Imagine your favorite ex, and imagine the whole world loving their new relationship. It must be hard. I know you're like, he's rich, he's whatever. It sucks. It sucks.
Like, that sucks. That sucks. Do I think they should be back together? I don't. I think that like you break up with someone and like exes are an ex for a reason. Yes, I think there are those rare couples that like maybe can take a few years off, grow, and like come back together. But I think that is so rare. And I think everyone you have ever dated, like, I don't regret any of my boyfriends because every single relationship I can pinpoint like a very specific thing that I learned while in that relationship that I now carry to my next one.
Yes.
So like, I don't think that Courtney and Travis would be as good as they are if she hadn't had a whole like debacle with Scott.
Agreed.
But by no means do I think that they should be getting back together.
I also think after Scott, again, we're just throwing this out there, but I think she loves that Travis is sober. I think that because of the Scott experience, she knows like maybe she really wants to be with someone who's clean just to avoid like getting scared that he might cheat or that kind of stuff.
I need like a light. Hold on a second.
I screenshotted you because you actually look like a ghost who's going to haunt me for the rest of my life.
Furthermore, though, for how over the top I am and like bougie and like love explosive things, I genuinely, like, into my core, do not want a like public engagement. Like I do not want a hidden photographer somewhere. I do not want 1,000 rose petals. I do not want some place to be like shut down for like our engagement. Like I want to be in bed. I want to roll over, him be holding a ring and just be like, let's do this. Like I want it to be so like the public engagements actually freak me out. I know. I love how you got engaged. I think that is so much more romantic.
Well, we both love being in bed, so like our guys know that. But I also, after you get engaged, you're a mess. Like I was like the whole world kind of goes blurry.
I feel like you black out.
You black out. I remember crying, and I love that I was in like a safe space with him where I could just FaceTime my mom.
I mean, I'd love to be in a bed in a hotel in Paris, like by the Eiffel Tower, but like a bed nonetheless.
But a bed.
I'd love room service after
God,
with like 1,000 roses and like a French man giving me French toast. But like,
it's a thin line because you want your privacy in a relationship, but both of me and you are in the public eye where like people are going to like see you exist with
like
with
there's
a guy
just things
as a part of a bigger like story.
There's just things that like I think are so much better when it's just shared with like an immediate family or like just like the person you're in love with. Rather than like it being shared with thousands of people who like don't even really care about you or like don't like are just here for the drama, which like same.
So you're saying you wouldn't want to get engaged on Bachelor in Paradise after 3 weeks in front of the castmates with a ring from Neil Young?
Look, I really have no place to say anything because like reality TV, whatever. But I really don't think I could ever be on a reality TV show where there's like a prize and like you're fighting for like, and it's like a game.
Yeah. Also, I would never say I wouldn't get engaged on reality TV because I told myself I'd never cry on reality TV, and here we are.
Oh yeah, like I've just solidified that I will absolutely get engaged on reality TV now. Like now that I said that I want to get engaged in bed.
I do think that Des is the first guy I was like with on a reality TV show, like legitimately in a relationship with.
Yeah.
And now you're with Craig. And I do have to say that when castmates talked about me, I'm like, okay, granted. Okay, fine. When they talked about Des, my blood boiled to another level.
So differently. Yeah. Already felt this. Like, take out like TV. Someone saying something to my face, most often I'm like, yeah, no, that's probably right. Like, you're right. I am the worst. But like someone saying something about my boyfriend is such a different level of like burn inside of you. I'll burn the whole place down. I'll burn your house down. I'll then travel to your parents' house, burn their house down. Like, it's just a different level of protection because you can't understand why someone would ever be mean to this person who you are so obsessed with. Like, sometimes I'll get like I get some of the meanest messages I've ever read in my life, and I'm just like, cool. I'll screenshot it, send it to the group chat, and be like, LOL. But like when I get messages about Craig being like, oh my God, like don't date him or like anything, I have gone off on people to the point where I'm like, okay, I gotta stop responding to crazy DMs.
Such jealousy. It's just jealousy.
I know, but I'm just like, do not speak his name.
Just protect your baby at all costs.
Yeah.
So speaking of relationships, I hung out with Sheena and Nima, who we love.
Yes, how was that?
We went to Lola Taverna and Sheena's sister, who I'd never met.
Oh my God. She's younger, right?
She's younger. She's so sweet. And she's kind of like, she has her own personality. She's not just mini Sheena. Like, she's very cool. Like I could tell she was Gen Z and too cool for me. And I was trying to act cool. But anyway, yeah, Sheena's in great mood. She has a baby. And I'm like, Sheena, I was like full podcasting. I was like, are you still going to be able to be a mom and be like fun party Sheena? And she's like, I'm going to a festival this weekend. Like, you just have to like get a babysitter. Like, we're the same us. It just takes like longer to like organize the kid.
Yeah.
She has this huge rock. But I was trying to get tea about Vanderpump Rules, as one does.
Right.
And one thing I remember was her just being like, by the way, Randall's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
We love Randall. Together, they're awesome. And he fits into the group great. And like, I'm a big stan of Randall and Lala. And
wow.
Then we get a notification that Lala... Well, okay, notice how the press covered it.
Yeah.
That was Lala's word. She goes, Lala dumps the shit out of Randall.
Yeah. Literally. The headline was so... I don't even know what he did, if he did it, if he didn't do it. That headline was gold. It was Lala dumps Randall, like, after 3. Like, it was just so direct.
Yeah, the word dumps is normally it's like they broke up, they split. Yeah. No, it's like she tossed him on the curb.
No, literally chucked this man out the window and was like, get out. Here's the thing, though, also. I understand that people can post whatever they want, famous or not, public eye or not. You should be allowed to live your life in like however you want. But when I'm fighting with my man, I'll tell you one thing. The last thing I'm doing is like putting it on Instagram. Like But this is when Perry and I broke up, like I didn't like address right. Like I can't, like it makes me nervous to like address big situations on Instagram. Like, and come on, everybody knew when she posted that picture of her putting a crown on and like the Beyonce song playing in the background while she's like checking into a hotel. Like everyone knows. But like here's what makes me nervous too. Like now, if she does get back with him, like people are gonna have so much more to say. Like whereas like if she just kept it in for a little bit and like figured it out and then maybe they get back together, like she wouldn't have to explain herself to anyone.
She's having an impulsive moment. Now me on social media, when I was going through it, a lot of accusations and lies were being said about me, and I wanted to just post. I wanted to just respond. But like I never did, and I'm glad I never did, because it just feeds into the energy of it. And at the time you feel like being the high horse doesn't feel good. It sucks.
No, I mean, it is... Okay, the other night... I, like, could not sleep. And, like, I sometimes will, like, look... No, listen, I will look at, like, my Google alerts. Like, whenever it, like, mentions my name, whatever. So I had gotten, like, a Google alert that Craig... was like talking about me in some article, whatever. It's like 4 a.m. I can't fall asleep. I like am reading the article and like I watched the video and I was like, yo, what is this? And I had a full rage text written out to him being like, why would you say that in your interview? Like this like looks so crazy. Like, do you even like me? Like saying all this crazy. And then I looked at the date of the article. And it was like a year ago. Like they used a video from like a year ago that like in a recent article. And I was like, oh my God, thank God I like took a moment, deleted the text and was like, that's crazy, Paige. Don't say that. Like, why don't you just take a breath? Yeah. And then like I saw the date and I was like, oh my God, if I sent that text message, he'd be like, you're insane.
I do think in the media it's a lot of like, tell him like it is, like burn his house down, like don't fool me. But it's actually a lot better to just ignore unless it's like really needs to be spoken to, or if you get pushed to that level, if you get pushed to the breaking point, then motherfucker's gonna break. Then we can't hold it down, and I am not responsible for what comes out of my mouth.
Okay, my next question: Do we believe it? Do we think that she broke up with him because she saw on Instagram him in Nashville walking into a hotel with 2 girls? Like, what do you think the story is?
For all we know, like, she knows more information, hopefully, than we do. But,
well, I think it's not even the fact that, look, if there were pictures on the internet of Craig walking into a hotel with 2 girls, my initial reaction, I'm pissed. Because the optics of it, the optics of
why
it.
Why is it always 2 girls? It's always 2. Yeah. It's never 1. Like, why do you have to go so hard?
It's because it's two best friends being like, don't leave me because this might make it be weird. Like, don't leave me. Did you see the TikTok with all the girls being like, how do guys not understand that there's a difference between these two looks that you shoot your friend? Like, if you look over at your friend and then
I
if
saw
you're like,
that. I literally saw
loved
that.
that.
You give the look where you're like, I'm good. He's
I'm
hot.
good.
I'm into this. Versus if you don't leave me or I'll kill you.
Yeah. So, like, I understand even Lala not knowing the full story and just seeing those pictures. Like, you're pissed because it's, like, illegitimizing your relationship. But I think before she made any moves, and she might have done this, we have no idea, like, gotten the full story from him.
Yeah.
Because maybe it really was nothing. Like, maybe it was just like a annoying thing that someone caught a picture and it was like taken out of context, whatever.
Or
But
maybe
I'd
he
be
called her and
pissed.
was like, you're going to see a video. I'm sorry. I cheated. I was drunk.
He could have done that too. But then, like, what's up with him posting?
The question is,
the kids with her book.
what'd you say?
She then, like, while she's like posting the Beyonce video, like, song of her in a hotel, he's posting his kids like promoting her book. Yeah.
This is crazy, and this is so typical reality TV where, like, the drama that's happening now is probably way more interesting than what's going to be airing.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting.
And also,
to watch.
I love Lala. I've actually always loved Lala.
I interviewed Lala when I worked at a media company back in the day, and she was so cool. She was with her mom. They had a really cute relationship.
I feel like she would, like, initially meeting her, I feel like she is really nice until you, like, piss her off. Like, then, like, she would, like, whatever. But I think initially meeting her, like, she would be nice.
Do you remember how she was like something about a married man or something? I don't know.
Well, I mean, look, not even like Lala and Randall.
Yeah.
If you start dating someone and you are the other girl and then he starts dating you, you will also break up that way. Like, at some point then you will be the main girl and he will have a side chick. Like, I just feel like if you start dating someone out of cheating, like, he's going to then cheat on you.
Yeah, I think it's a pattern. I'm also trying to have more empathy for relationships. If someone has some infidelity or something, I think what ends relationships is not necessarily the infidelity, but like all the stuff that comes with it. And like,
Absolutely.
maybe if you're with a Hollywood producer who like loves to party and occasionally likes the young models and you're cool with it, like the J-Lo, Alex Rodriguez type of thing. I
just
maybe
would never
like,
be
I'm
cool
trying to
with
be
that.
more understanding. I'm not gonna lie, when I read it at first I was like, no, I'm so sad for this because they have a child. But then I kind of was like, yeah, Lala, like, kick his ass out.
Also, like, the girls looked really young. Like, they looked like they were in college.
I didn't even see the video, but like, also part of
The
you,
one girl from behind kind of looked like me. And I was like, oh my God.
you're like, is that me? Did I
I was like, I think I have those leather pants, and like, I literally wore my hair in a ponytail the other day. Was that me?
I was really drunk this weekend.
Yeah. I was like, wait, was I in Nashville? No, I wasn't. Anyway,
Wait, I was in
I hope.
Nashville.
Yeah, I know. I hope if he did cheat on her, I hope that like she's not so sad and knows that like it has nothing to do with her and like she does not deserve that. And I think that if they are just in a fight and maybe he didn't cheat, like I hope they work it out. But like,
Yeah.
either way, they're in a sucky situation right now. That just sucks.
I mean, if anything,
Cheating
if you're
is the
going to
worst.
fail fast. Like, get out of it now before he cheats when you have, like, a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 13-year-old. Like, I don't know. Aren't kids much more up when parents get divorced at 13? I don't know. I'm throwing random stats out there.
Right. And, like, they're just engaged. They can move on. She can find someone. Yeah.
Paige, this is the big issue. They have a podcast together. That's like a good podcast. Like, it's quite popular. I love how that's your reaction to the podcast. It's a baby. A podcast is a baby.
Because my initial thought is who gets the podcast? Who gets to go on the podcast and explain what's going on?
For sure, Lala. I mean, Lala literally is writing the press articles herself. She goes,
Yeah.
Lala dumps cheating ass hoe boyfriend.
I love
That's
it.
Lala's
Also,
vernacular.
Let's be honest. Randall might be like a successful producer, maybe has some money, like, but we didn't know who he was, nor did we care who he was before Lala. Like, so now that Lala's done with him, like,
Also,
we
if
don't care
Lala's
about him.
sober, I don't want her husband going on these benders.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so easy to judge from outside the house, but I just hope Lala's family's okay. We are big Lala fans here on the pod.
Yeah.
Team Lala all day. But it just sucks. It sucks. But do you ever see a motivational quote on Instagram and it makes you angry?
All the time.
Like, do you ever see those quotes that make it like life's so easy and you just have to do this? And it's like, it's not like that.
Right, at all. You know who gets really mad about motivational quotes?
Who?
Dominique.
Really? So Dominique is our spiritual healer of the pod.
Mm-hmm.
What does she not like about them? Because she'll post really good ones. Some are just like, that's what it is. It's toxic positivity.
Yeah, that's what she says. She's like, people that are like, just like suck it up, not suck it up, but like just smile and 100 positivity, like good vibes. Dominique hates that. She's like, no, that's actually making you feel like you're not allowed to have emotions that are sad or mad or angry. Like, it should just be happy all the time. She's like, and that sets you up for failure and like thinking you're not good enough.
Or I'd see things like when I was going through where it's like, if someone disrespects you, just tell them to go for themselves and move on. And I'm like, it's not that simple.
Right. Like, well.
Or they'll be like, when you're feeling down, just get up. And you're like, no, it's not like that.
Like, sometimes I'm tired. No, like, I think one of the best things that I've realized, and like this is only through therapy, is when something does happen to you and you're sad or depressed or mad, like, it's okay to feel that. And like, it's actually better to sit in that feeling, feel it, get it out, rather than like pretend that it doesn't exist, because then it just manifests into like other.
Preach. I'm currently working on that. I have to feel my feelings instead of just working.
It's hard.
Because I love working because I don't think about stuff. Because when you think about stuff, it can hurt. But if you don't literally cry it out, it stays within you.
Also, I feel like we grew up in Italian households where the mantra is suck it up and move on.
Yeah, same.
Like, you're just taught to be like, don't feel sorry for yourself. Like, suck it up.
Yeah.
So like, if something bad happens or you're sad, it's kind of like, people have it way worse than you. You should be thankful that like this is your problem.
Yeah.
But you're like, but I cry every day.
That's also
Like,
very like our parents' generation of like, you're lucky that like we have good jobs and you're, you know, my grandma came on a boat from Sicily. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're like, okay, well, you had to bring grandma into this. And now I can't say anything.
Once you bring grandma in, I can't win.
Yeah.
We got notes from the gigglers. Apparently, Sam and girl Emily is 29.
It's 29.
They were very upset. Got too many messages about it.
People were highly offended and very angry with me. Very angry. For some reason, I thought she was like 24. Well, she looks so young. Like, good for her.
She's great skin.
She looks so young. She's great skin.
Incredible
great
skin. Glowing.
Yeah.
Apparently, all you have to do is eat vegetables to have skin like that, but I still won't do it.
Nah. I literally just had Burger King.
I had Wendy's last night.
And let me tell you, it was a toss-up between Chick-fil-A and Burger King. Yeah.
Why did you decide Burger King?
Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes when I eat Chick-fil-A, I get really nauseous after. And I just couldn't risk it today.
Mm-hmm. I got Wendy's, and I got Wendy's because I got chicken nugs, a cheeseburger, and then to be healthy, a baked potato.
Right.
Because I'm balanced.
Right. And that's a vegetable.
Yes. I'm the epitome of health.
I get a lot of hate and criticism that my favorite fast food is Burger King.
I don't think you should get that kind of hate because
I'm not afraid to be me. And if you don't order an original chicken sandwich from Burger King, then I'm sorry that you don't have a sophisticated palate. That's not my problem.
Wait,
that sounds like a personal problem.
Aren't those like rectangle? Like, they're kind of huge, right?
They're oblong. And they're amazing.
What'd
They're
you
a
just say?
massive oblong.
Is that French?
I don't know. I think that's a word. Wait, I'm Googling it. I think I used it correctly.
No, but you're right. That
whoever
chicken
really
sandwich
knows.
is like another level, and I think you get more bang for your buck.
You really do. Like, I'm full after that. Like, sometimes I'll eat a oblong, an object or flat figure in an elongated rectangle or oval shape. Yeah.
How did you... Okay,
I don't know.
should you sign up for Jeopardy right now? What's going on?
Oh, my Bill Nye.
I also feel like you're at the point of your hangover right now where suddenly you just got a burst of energy, and I'm
Yeah, I did.
living for it.
I did. But right when we're done with this podcast, I will die.
You're gonna hit a wall.
later.
Right before you black out, do you have any front page news before I get to dope documentaries?
Well, we did try. Oh, wait, hold on. I actually do think I did have something. Hold on. What did you think about Megan Edmonds getting married after 4 weeks?
Oh.
Okay, so Megan Edmonds got married after only 4 weeks, and it is the nephew of Joe Biden. And they were at the wedding. Oh, yeah. I would actually be pissed because, like, okay, I'm walking down the aisle in a wedding dress. I don't need everyone staring at Joe Biden and not me. If someone is more famous than me, they're not invited to my wedding, and that's just math. Like, they're not coming.
I think about that all the time when, like, Taylor Swift goes to her, like,
Friends' weddings. I would be pissed. Like, if I ever had the opportunity to be friends with, like, a legitimate celebrity, I would have to tell them in the beginning of our friendship that they were not invited to my wedding.
See, I kind of want my wedding to be poppin', and I want people to, like, I want to cast the characters.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, you know what we should think about and talk about on the next podcast, because we need time to think about this? 3 people, because I played this game at a dinner party the other night. 3 people that you would want to have dinner with and why. And some people have some really interesting answers and, like, really good ones. So let's think about it. Let's also ask the gigglers who they would.
Alive.
Either.
Interesting.
Yeah. Right?
We'll
Gets
get
the
back to
wheels
it.
turning. Yeah.
So Megan King Edmonds, 4 weeks. I do think you're still in such a, like, dopamine high that you're not thinking straight. I'm going to be honest. And in 4 weeks, you cannot have fought yet, and you don't know how someone fights. And if you have already fought, that's an even bigger issue.
Can I tell you something? Craig and I have not had, like, our first fight yet. Like, and I mean fight where it's like, no, like, I'm pissed, or like, I'm not talking to you for a little, like a real
Like,
we've got,
like, you're in a relationship and having a disagreement fight. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, like, not that I'm nervous for it, but, like, it is definitely a thing, because I'm like, what do you think I bring it up all the time too. I'm like, what do you think we're like in a fight? Like, what do you think the vibe is?
Well,
like,
it
what
also
is it gonna
depends
be?
if it's a drunk fight or a sober fight, because those are also 2 different dynamics.
Yeah. I haven't, like, drunk fought with a boyfriend since I was, like, 25.
Yeah.
So I'm actually less nervous about that, because it's just like, and Craig and I actually drink very well together. It's like the number one thing he tells people.
That's good.
He's like, I
That's
really
good.
like Paige because we drink well. And I'm like, you make us sound like alcoholics. Like, we're just drunk
We have great
together all
drink
day.
chemistry.
I'm like, what? But, like, it is a thing.
We mix well together. I do have to say, Dez is the first guy that in fights I've found myself saying sorry. And I'm not saying that I'm, like, wrong with Dez more than other guys. It's just that with Dez, I care to resolve it. Where
Yes.
other guys, I wouldn't. You have to remember, like, this is not
You really love
important.
him. Yeah.
And I just want to get past this. And I found myself saying sorry all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, like, and it's so true. Like, if you want to resolve it, you really love that person. Like, I've had fights with boyfriends where I'm like, I mean, you leaving the milk out isn't a really big deal, but, like, I'm breaking up with you. Like, because you just don't care.
It's like how people see what they want to see. Like, when you're ready to break up, you could fight over anything. Where, like,
Anything.
yeah, you just have to find a way that you guys are resolving it while also expressing yourself. And remembering you're on the same team, and just remember you're not trying to beat anyone. You guys are on the same team. You don't need to win.
Yeah.
No one's keeping score. You just want to get back to being in good graces if someone's upset and to listen.
Oh my God, look at us sometimes, like, of course, like, I've gotten pissed off before. And, like, now if I get mad, my initial reaction used to be like, well, now I'm just going to yell things at you and be such a bitch because I'm mad. But now my reaction is, okay, what about this is making me upset? And what is my real feeling? Like, am I sad? Am I mad? Like, is it my ego that he just like hurt? Like, you have to think about like how you actually feel about something, because your initial reaction isn't how you actually feel. And then once you pinpoint that, it's so much easier to be like, look, what just happened made me sad. This is why it made me sad. And like, and then he responds. Look at that. 1 month in a relationship and I'm just like a therapist. I am literally that annoying girl.
You're teaching
that's, like, in a
him.
Relationship.
You guys, after you get past your like puppy dog stage, it's like the boundary stage where you guys are going to push each other to see like what your boundaries are with certain things. And that's when you either you don't care to respect their boundaries and it ends, or you don't communicate your boundaries well and it ends, or you communicate your boundaries and you guys are able to respect them. And that's like the oversimplification of why relationships last past like the 4 or 5 month stage.
A lot of it is also, you know, what pisses that person off.
1,000%. Like,
are you ever in a situation like with other people and like, you know that like your man is about to freak out, but like no one else knows? I'm like, wow, Craig's gonna be pissed about this. I think one of the biggest bonding experiences with your boyfriend is like being mad at the same
oh my God,
you know,
yes.
where you just like hate
oh my God, being
together.
angry at the same
yeah, you're like, I hate that person. He's like, me too. And I'm like, let's talk about it.
I do think that similar to me and Des, I feel like you and Craig are like actually friends. Like, if you didn't ever, you'd sit in a room and like make each other laugh and you have the same sense of humor.
I literally, so far, the nicest thing Craig has ever said to me is like, you're my best friend. Like, I love that. And it's true. Like, you just, you're dating and you're like compatible and you also like think about like bigger life things. But the day to day is really just being friends and like thinking the same memes are funny, or like, I follow like raccoon accounts because Craig sends me raccoon videos and like we think they're funny, and people in Russia have raccoons as pets and like we think it's odd, but we like it. And like just weird things about like being someone's best friend.
Because there's so many relationships that you just like stop liking the human. I don't care how beautiful his penis is.
Yeah, and you're just like, I don't even care about the outcome of this because, like, I don't. And, like, it is different. Like, you know, when you fight with your best, like, girlfriend, like, you really do immediately want to resolve it because you're like, you're my best friend, like, fuck off. And, like, if you really like your boyfriend, you also want that. You're like, no, but we're best friends, too. Like, I want to resolve this quickly. Where if it's, like, someone you don't like or a girl that's, like, not really your friend, you're like, okay.
Exactly. Like
okay.
with your boyfriend who you really like, you're like, wait, I can't go another minute like not talking to you or being awkward with you.
Honestly, we're building Des and Craig up so much.
I don't think they deserve it
at all. Yeah, they're so lucky to breathe our air. I know you have some dope shows.
Just to wrap this up, I have 2 really good dope documentaries. The Brittany Murphy doc on HBO Max.
Okay, did you finish it?
Yep.
Okay, I haven't finished it yet, but proceed.
What are your initial thoughts? My
initial thoughts are, what a absolute tragedy. And this guy was a master manipulator. And he killed her.
Where are you at in the doc?
I just got to the part where people are starting. You know what's crazy too that I kept thinking about? If this happened now, how much more it would have been in the media. But like then there was no like social media.
Yes, and back then it was all about like Paris Hilton, Britney Spears, like the thin party girls where bad stuff happens. And that was just like, that's them. Like no one gave a fuck about women.
Yeah.
They were just like
no
these
one
stupid
cared about
sluts.
Her at
they
all.
Literally and she was like not at the top of her game. But I wrote some notes. Like I was that into it. Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a real conspiracy theory that there was like a mold problem No, there's no mold. There was no mold found in the autopsy. It's not the mold. Also, if it was mold, how is her mom great? And her mom's like the weakest one physically. Two,
Okay.
they were definitely addicted to pills. They had so many different
Absolutely.
pills. They were doing the uppers, the downers. It was so sad to see her place was like it was like of hoarding, and like definitely you could see the mental illness. What's also scary is there was a full-on intervention with her friends, where her friends were like, this guy's ruining your life. And her mom and her
I haven't gotten to that
and her
part.
mom and her were like, no, we love him. And this is where I think it went wrong, because our moms save our lives. My mom has saved my life from certain men, thank God.
Countless times.
This mom, he was able to also manipulate to the point that people think they were.
I think they were.
If you see the photos and the way they acted, it was weird. And I don't think the mom was giving me weird vibes.
When they did the Larry King interview and he called her baby,
Yeah.
I was like,
And he said they
No.
sleep in the same bed together because they cried together.
no one calls you baby but the guy that you're sleeping with.
If a guy called me baby,
And like I wasn't sleeping in bed with him every night and making out with him in the morning, I'd be like, get out, like, don't call me that. Like, no, it's so weird. It's
but
so
it's like
weird.
typical for a predator to be like trying to dominate as many women as possible. Oh, it's so disgusting. Then he basically fires her management, fires her agents. Everything is run through him, her email, her phones. He changed her numbers, then got her addicted to plastic surgery. Apparently he's attracted to anorexic women, got her to change all this stuff on her face. And
she was such a good actress. Like when they were doing the montage of some movies, I like forgot that she was in some movies. Girl Interrupted, I'll never forget. Like the first time I watched that, I was actually way too young to watch that. But I remember watching it and being like, this is such a crazy movie. She was so good. And someone in the documentary was like, I can't believe she didn't get an Oscar for that movie, because she really was so good. Like she would take roles and totally make it her own, to the point where directors would be like, I didn't even know the character could be played that way, and she crushed it. Like no one could ever play.
Clueless?
Yeah, no one could ever play Ty but her.
no one talks about, but like she was the star of Clueless. Like Clueless,
She was the star.
all surrounded her story.
And like someone said it in the documentary too, you know, when you watch a movie and you're like, oh, but what if like countless people could have played Cher. There's no one that you could have put in Ty's role and it have been as good as Brittany Murphy. Like even like her dumb movie. I remember being in high school and watching the movie where she's married to Ashton Kutcher and they're in like Paris or something.
That was great.
Even that movie is so good. So good.
So some went down with her and Ashton that I think was the downfall of her kind of mental health for a bit, where she got vulnerable because her friend said she didn't want to talk about it. And then the one thing she wanted to tell the media was that she doesn't have an eating disorder and that it was an amicable breakup. Like no one broke up with anyone. It was like mutual.
But it sounds like he broke up with her.
Oh yeah, people were saying like he broke up with her, but she was like, he didn't. It was like a mutual thing. But I think, so that's like just a mystery unsolved.
Yeah.
It's interesting Ashton wasn't interviewed in the film. I don't know.
No, I
mean,
agree.
I don't know. Like, you know how Justin said something with Brittany's doc? He came out. I wonder if Ashton will say anything.
Also, when you are in a relationship where, like this happened to me in my early 20s. I was in a very good relationship. We broke up, and then the next guy I started dating was just awful. And my boyfriend before him multiple times would be like, it's none of my business and it's not my place, but like, are you okay? Like, there's no way Ashton and her didn't talk at least once when she was dating this guy. Like,
yeah,
I feel like it is weird that he wasn't interviewed, because I bet he knows a lot. Like, you don't just see someone you used to love like falling down a rabbit hole and not feel compelled to say something.
Or it was like that bad that they can't talk.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know how you'll date someone and then try to like date someone different because it's like too hard to be with someone like that?
Yeah.
I think she purposely went from Ashton Kutcher, so hot, amazing personality,
Really, just a total
to this
package.
gross ass dude, and I'm not calling him gross because he's ugly and fat. I'm calling him gross because he's a predator.
Yeah. And
I
also
also
because
think, like,
he's ugly and fat.
and he's ugly and fat. But she wanted someone who was like the antithesis of like the Hollywood limelight. And I also think we talk about serial killers all the time, but it's a serial like emotional abuser.
Yeah.
But this guy was also rapey. You'll learn later
Very
on.
rapey vibes. Very rapey vibes.
Oh, for sure. You don't even know. He has 2 children. They get into it.
Oh my
in the
God, I need
second
to
half.
watch the second part. Yeah.
You need to watch it. But what reminded me, similar to Britney Spears, was, didn't you find it weird that all the movies she was in was like directly correlated to this like dark she almost was going through? Like she always played these roles that were like wanting to be someone else or struggling with like pain in a relationship or struggling with drugs. Like she loved playing the dark roles. And it's like Britney Spears, all her music was always like fighting for power.
Right. Because like when she like Uptown Girls, one of my favorite movies ever, but she always played roles that were like cute and fun. And like, yes, I understand that like the darker roles showed more of her acting range, but I feel like the reason she was so good at them was because she was letting out emotion from her real life. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I think that if she was still alive, she would still be one of the best actresses today.
Well, it was sad because she stopped booking roles in her last couple years because no one wanted to deal with him. So she was doing like horror movies, independent films. And then the most fucked up thing at the end is the mom takes all the jewelry he bought for Brittany to this guy and says, "Can you sell it? Because I need cash." All the diamonds were fake.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it was just like a symbol for the whole relationship. But there are so many con artists out there.
Yeah.
And what I learned about people who get conned from all my documentary watching is you see what you want to see.
Yeah.
Which is what you do when you like fall for someone. You want to see their good qualities. You don't want to see their bad qualities.
Right.
But this guy, it's crazy that he succeeded to this level of con.
It's just like a true tragedy. Like, you know, when people are like, yeah, everything happens for a reason and like whatever, there are certain times where you're like, but damn, that shouldn't have happened. Like this, she should not have died. Like that is just not. It was.
And
just
then
such
her best friend was like, knowing what I know now, I wish I just stood outside and knocked on her door to like take her away. But like, you know, you can't look back 2020.
Yeah.
She's like, I would have gotten arrested. I didn't care. I would have done it. But she again wanted to believe that her friend was happy.
Yeah.
That maybe there was something she was missing.
Yeah.
But
so sad.
Whew.
Such a good documentary.
So I highly recommend to finish that. And oh my God, what a fucking episode. We went through all types of shit.
No, we seriously did. Oh my God.
New relationships starting, relationships ending.
Next week we're gonna do our top like 3 people we would have dinner with.
And we'll ask you guys on Instagram what your ideas are so we can get inspired. But I'm going to San Francisco tomorrow for a show.
Oh my God. You've been traveling. I don't know how you do it.
And then I'm going to Irvine, Tempe, and LA all in like 4 days. So
I'm already tired.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. But I'll try to keep everyone posted on the travels. And
yeah, thank you so much for giggling.
We love you guys so much.
See you next time.
Bye, guys.